Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be looking at something that for the sake of this video I'm going to be calling the peace virus. It does not have a name yet. So basically, as of 2 days ago, a very popular GitHub repository known as the node-ipc repository, which it's an NPM, which means it's coded in JavaScript, and I don't really know JavaScript that well, but what it seems to do is, I guess, do something with networking in JavaScript. It seems to be able to connect to IP addresses and stuff like that. I am not a JavaScript developer. And it is a very, very popular repository. As you can see, it's used by over 760,000 projects and users. But what people have noticed a couple days ago is that there was a comet 847047CF7F, that added this file to it called sslgeospec.js. And it didn't seem to really do much because it's heavily obfuscated, and he just called it added SSL check, which, I mean, that seems legitimate enough. However, what it actually does is that it goes ahead and tries to, and looks up the computer's IP address, and if it is in Russia or Belarus, it will go ahead and replace every single file on the system, delete every single file on the system and just replace it with a file that just has the heart emoji. Now, I am not a JavaScript developer, but today I am going to see if I can finagle it to run it in a virtual machine even though my IP address is an American one. Further expanding on this is these base64 codes. Now, these are encrypted, but you can easily find a base64 decoder online, and as you can see, this one says country name. This one is Russia, and this one's Belarus. So before I explain to you what happened, let me briefly familiarize with the setup I have at the virtual machine. I downloaded the Linux source code so that it has some files to chew through, and I am running the npm tool as an administrator. And I got rid of pretty much anything that checks the IP address. It will run the payload no matter what. So it actually took me about 16 or 17 minutes to get it to work. It required a lot more finagling than I thought, and I also added some logging because I am not a JavaScript developer, so I did not know how to use a debugger for JavaScript. But now that it's working, you can see it instantly shot the CPU usage up to 100%. And if I go through the files, you'll start to see that some of them are blank. I don't know why it didn't get the heart emoji in there, considering it was supposed to. Maybe it's just because I'm using standard Notepad instead of something like Notepad++ that might be able to see it. And as you can see, soon some programs will stop being able to launch. Now, this is at double speed because this was over the course of about 8 minutes. Me from the present back again, because I was silent for a long time for audio recording afterwards, because I had to modify this a lot because it was checking the IP address, and I am not in Russia. So this went from having 5 gigabytes free to almost 13. I don't think it's going to survive a reboot, but I am going to try it. And as you can see, everything got overwritten by itself, which it's supposed to display a heart, but it didn't actually display anything at all. So we're going to, wow, not even VMware Tools is left. We're going to reboot it and see if it works. Now it still works, which I doubt. Now I did run it as administrator, so I suppose it has more damage than if you were to just run it as a normal user. And yeah, the system's hosed. But yeah, that is the new peace virus. I don't think you'd feel very loved if you were to get it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and take care.